Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries for the continuation of Inkmas. We are on day 15 now, and after yesterday's ink, I really struggled with myself in spoiling the rest of this calendar, but I held strong. And as of this video, this moment when I'm filming, watching this, I am dedicated to doing one a day, no matter what happens. That may change, but that's where my mind's at right now. I'm trying to go in today with a lot of positivity. Regardless of what we get, I do want to say that this calendar does have a lot of really good standard inks in it. I'm just really kind of shocked that Colorverse put so many of the same kinds of inks in here. Like we have 3 blue purples with sheen, which is kind of interesting. Anyways, I'm going to just stop talking and open the door and see what we get for today. Okay, looks like we have another blue ink. This one's called Brinicles. I think it's Brinicles. Okay, anyways, the ink is a color inspired by the cold, mysterious ice picks or salt pillars that form beneath the sea ice. Okay, Brinicles. All right, let's swatch it out and see what we get. Let me just, I guess, take this whole door off because the whole thing wanted to come off. Okay, it's a standard. It looks like it's going to be really close to the tone of yesterday's, but maybe a bit more green. So hopefully we'll get something a bit different, but my hopes are pretty low right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have yet another blue ink. Okay. I'm really trying to be positive. It is a pretty color. It's a bit more of like a teal though. It has a very strong green pull, but I still think it's pretty firmly in the blues. To me, this is yesterday's color, slightly lighter with no sheen. I do think it's going to have a little bit of a shade that it goes a bit darker, but other than that, it's just another kind of standard, you know, tealish blue ink. In terms of the Colorverse card versus the Tomoe paper swatch, they are slightly different, so that makes me think that this ink might pull different on different papers, where some papers it might pull a bit more blue, or some papers might pull a bit more green. To me, like Rhodia may make this ink a little bit more blue, and Midori paper might make it a little bit more green. I don't know. But it's pretty. It's a nice kind of standard blue ink to match the other standard blue inks that we've gotten in this calendar. I'm going to go ahead and break out my swatch book and we will do some comparisons and see what inks I have that are exactly like this. Okay, I have my blues here yet again from my Kikuyo Campus book. I'm also going to compare this to the teals because I do feel like the color of it can be a bit teal. Yeah, I think this is going to fit in either teals or blues depending on what you're going for. When I swatched it, I immediately thought of Birmingham Pen Company's Polar Bear. On the Tomoe paper swatch, it looks very similar, and the Wear and Gold swatch is not as similar. Wear and Gold, Colorverse, you know, it's Colorverse. But you see it's kind of close, and that it's a bit more of like a teal color. I do think that it would be a decent dupe. Let's see what else we get. It's also very close to Birmingham Pen Company's Fighting Fish. I think the color of this is really close to Document Cyan by 𝗬𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 just did not behave on anything. I think if you got a bottle of it, it would be a little bit better. If you wanted a shimmery version, I think the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 Cyan Blue Copper is a really good option. Would have been kind of cool to see some coppery shimmer in this, not gonna lie. It's also kind of close to the base color of Diamine's Alexandrite, which has red sheen and blue shimmer, which also would have been kind of cool to see in this color. It's also kind of close to the base of Diamine's Arctic Blast, which is basically the same thing, red sheen, blue shimmer. Also kind of similar to Diamine's Upon a Star. Again, red sheen, but this one has red shimmer. Also similar to 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 by Endless Alchemy. It's similar to Three Oysters Blue and also Organic Studios Nitrogen, but it doesn't have the red sheen that either of those pull. It's very close to Pilot Iroshizuku's Konpeki, at least on the Colorverse card. On the Tomoe paper, it's still pulling a bit more green. Like, I feel like the Tomoe paper is way greener than this card. Like, maybe I should reswatch the big card. I don't know. Because the back is kind of close to this. I mean, it's pulling the green in here. Whatever. I'll just hold both books. It's fine. It's close to Robert Oster's Havasaw Falls. It's close to Robert Oster's Fire and Ice. It's kind of close to Sailor Manyo's Koke, but Koke has chroma shading and is a bit lighter. Okay, that's it for the blues. Let me move into teals. It's kind of similar to Diamine Marine, but Marine I think is a bit more green. It's also kind of close to Robert Oster's Steely Days, which is a newer release by them. Close to Birmingham Pen Company's Cerulean, but the BPC ink has a bit more of a green chroma shade going on with it. On the Tomoe paper, it's kind of similar to Private Reserve's Blue Suede, but on the Colorverse card, it is not. Yeah, I'd say probably the closest was in the blues with like the Robert Oster Fire and Ice, at least on the Tomoe paper, and I still think it's really close to my initial thoughts of Birmingham Pen Company's Polar Bear, in that it's a bit more of like a greenish blue. It could also maybe pass for Birmingham Pen Company's Electron, but I feel like this one is pretty firmly blue. Yeah, it's nice. I'm trying to be positive here, but let me do a writing sample and see what this looks like in a full page and maybe how it behaves. So I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, here we have the writing sample for Brinicles. I will say, after writing with it for this full page, I do enjoy this color a lot. It is very pretty. It's a great standard in that it would be, I think, a really good ink for summertime or even the spring because it's a bit brighter. But if you compare it to yesterday's ink, Pulsar Pulse, they are very, very close together. Almost to the point that I feel like Brinicles is just the like unsaturated version. Like they just put more dye in Pulsar Pulse and that's why it sheens so much, and then Brinicles doesn't have that, but that just is my opinion. I think it's nice. It was a bit dry. It was a bit harder to start with this one. Not like a dry ink, like it's impossible, but it is on the drier side. It's not as lubricated as some of the other inks we've had in the calendar. Yeah. Positive things to say about it. It's a beautiful standard kind of tealy ink. It's a nice color. It has, you know, a great standard quality to it. Negative things to say. Colorverse, what the heck? I how many blues are going to be in this calendar is kind of what I'm looking at right now. Like, how many have we gotten, and how many days are left, and what is going to be the percentage of blues that I still have to go through before we get to the end. Like, don't get me wrong, I like blue ink, I use blue ink, but it's not my favorite. And for a 24 collection of inks, I would have expected more. Like, I would have expected different colors. I would have expected different properties. I guess maybe this is, you know, the risk, right? Like, I mean, there is the risk of when you get an inkvent that you know, have colors you don't like. But I didn't expect this many standards, and I didn't expect this many blues. Like, it's a very blue heavy calendar. So there's that. Anyways, here's the close-up of the swatch card. I don't know if I showed that already or not, but it is a nice color. It is pretty. I think there is some quality shading in this. I think it's a nice standard ink. This would be great everyday writer for me. I do enjoy this color of ink. My boyfriend enjoys this color of ink, so it will go to use. It's just for the calendar itself, I'm pretty underwhelmed. But yeah, what do you guys think about this one? Do you think we're gonna get a blue ink tomorrow? Should we take bets? I don't know. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day. I hope that tomorrow brings something new, but we will have to wait and see for that. I'm gonna leave it off here. Be blessed. See you guys tomorrow, and bye-bye.